What's up, listener? Thanks for clicking play on this episode of the Jock and Nerd podcast. We have got a lot of geek boner loaded up, ready for your ear holes to consume. We start out with a little bit of news about Deadpool, Wonder Woman, Marvel's Iron Fist on Netflix, Thor Ragnarok, and more. Then you are going to get our spoilerific review of Hugh Jackman's last outing as Wolverine in Logan, plus a little superhero science, and all this with a special guest joining us all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Friday, March 10th, 2017.
Shit, bitch, we're gonna bust up that stage like a high school kegger. We're just gonna outwit LaFour's X-Men style.
Should I call you Logan, Weapon X?
No, Wolverine, snickety, snoring.
Check. Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up.
We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah! We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah! We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert.
All right, what's up? Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast. Jock and Nerd, the weekly show where we geek out about comic book, movie, and TV-related news, reviews, and interviews. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
The Nerd.
And he's the Rug Boy. Good Earth Rugs, what's up?
What's up, motherfuckers? We're recording on a Friday.
We're recording on a Friday night, and we're all losers sitting around talking about a guy with claws coming out of his hands. And joining us on this review is a special guest, friend of the show, a huge X-Men fan, an awesome stencil artist, Kevin McPartlin, also known as Mr. Antihero, also known as Kevin Stencils, in studio. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Nice to have you here. You may remember Kevin from such episodes as Free Comic Book Day Part 1, 2016.
Yeah, buddy.
X-Men Apocalypse Review.
Mm-hmm.
And you were also nice enough to send us some audio for our 150th show.
Yeah, that almost convinced me to quit smoking. When I heard my own clip, I was like, man.
Rugboy said it was like we were inside you.
Yeah.
Which was great. It was a great observation.
Like inside me in an opium den.
Pretty much.
Dude's got some lungs. Let me tell you what.
It was a rough night.
Look,
It's dark in here.
it's dark in here and I'm scared. So look, you came on the X-Men Apocalypse review, and that was not the best X-Men movie. So we're going to make it up with you with quite a better, much 100 times better X-Men movie.
I think maybe a million times better.
Maybe a million times, quite possibly the best X-Men movie. We'll get to that.
Well, Kevin, see, I don't even know what your fucking name is. I have like 8 names.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Kevin Stencils.
I respond to hey you.
Okay, that works too. You kind of liked Apocalypse though, right? I just want to establish this.
No, absolutely. I mean, I thought there was parts of X-Men Apocalypse that I really liked, but now that it's like on DVD and all that stuff, and I've seen it a few more times, it's one of those things where the more I've watched it, the less I've liked it.
Okay, great. I like that.
Yeah, the rewatchability.
I like when people agree. I like when people agree with me. That's
yeah. No, I'm gonna do that.
I like that
as much as I can.
Good note. Look, if you're a first-time listener, here's what you're going to get into. We're going to do a little bit of geek news, catch up on a couple of things, then we're going to get into the Logan review. We have some fun audio to play from our friends who send in their reviews of Logan. And then at the end, we're going to debut a little, maybe a semi-regular segment called Superhero Science. Because we got some audio from our official Jock and Nerd podcast science advisor, Adam D. Morris, PhD, talking about Spider-Man's powers and how spiders do it. So it was very cool. He sent us some audio, and we'll share that at the end.
Yay.
Other than that, let's get to the news, you bastards.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Listener, if you are new, you want to get in touch with the show, you want to yell at us for having stupid, dumb opinions, you're going to want to by the end of the show. Make sure you visit jockandnerd.com/contact. Everything's there, our Twitter page, our Facebook group, our Facebook page, SpeakPipe. You can send us your voice. You can type a message. Definitely get in touch. I think it's appropriate to start with this Deadpool 2 teaser. Is this the, spoilery? Am I? It's on the internet.
Yeah, no, that's
right.
No.
Look,
Spoiler
I'll do
alert.
that anyways. But if you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what the fuck you've been doing because it's everywhere.
it haunts my Facebook feed.
Well, I was
Yeah.
avoiding any kind of spoilers, and I saw it. And
Exactly. So to clarify, because last episode, what happened was we recorded when there was just a hint of this, and then between the time that we recorded and I put the show out, the fucking thing comes out. So we had no chance to talk about this, and now we have. This is a thing you saw before you saw Logan. But there's a longer version online.
Really?
Yes. Oh, you did not know this.
No.
There actually is a Stan Lee cameo in this on the online version. There's a part, I forget where it is, where he steps out. Basically, if you haven't seen it, it's Deadpool. He sees a guy getting harassed.
Yep.
He somehow finds a phone booth. You see Ryan Reynolds' ass.
Yep.
There's
Remember that.
some Easter eggs on there, like on the phone booth. It says Nathan Summers is coming, but it's CUMMING. Well, I like.
Oh shit.
I like that. And the Logan is playing, and he just, he takes too long to change. The guy gets shot, and he eats his ice cream.
No, I saw all that. I just didn't know there was a Stan Lee cameo.
So
somewhere
there's a
there.
part after he jumps out of the phone booth. I believe Stan Lee says something, and he goes, "Zip it, Stan Lee." It's like 2 seconds.
Oh wow.
They cut that out, and also he answers a phone call while he's in the phone booth in this longer version.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's gnarly. See, I heard that since in between when they screened Logan for critics and in between when it went to the theaters, they added 3 minutes somewhere.
Correct.
So everyone was like, there was a lot of, is it an after credit scene? Did they,
See
did
right
they
here.
do this? Oh, yeah.
But I think this is interesting because you really, if you've seen the movie, you don't want a post-credit scene. What they've created is just a pre-post-credit scene, a pre-credit scene.
Yeah.
Because it's before the trailers. A lot of people in the audience, I think, we talked to some of our friends who didn't know. They thought it was the beginning of the movie, and they were kind of confused.
Right.
But then great audience reaction to this. Like, people were psyched when they saw it was Wade Wilson. What do you guys think of the trailer, Ruggs? The teaser?
well, the thing is, the first time I saw it, I laughed,
Yes.
and the second time I saw it, I didn't think it was funny at all. So it was one of those
that's
things
interesting.
where
It only works
it hit
once.
me. It hit me, and the first time I thought it was a little cute, and I giggled, and then the second time I was like, this is kind of not that funny, but whatever. So there you go.
Anthony, comment?
So the first time I saw it was I saw the one online, the longer version,
Well, yeah.
and I was like, "This is cute, but it's too fucking long."
I will agree. It's a little long.
So then when I watched it in the theater, I'm like Rug Boy. I was like, I've already seen this. It's not that funny the second go around, but at least it's shorter.
Yeah, that's probably why they trimmed it. I agree. When I saw the long one, I was like, wow, this is, he's taking a long time in there.
He spends a long time in that phone booth.
And I mean, I get, it really drives home the punchline at the end where he's like, to be honest, I probably shouldn't have taken so much time in the phone booth. Just called 911.
But hey, there's Cherry Garcia.
But there's Cherry Garcia to be had. So, I'm excited that the Deadpool 2 is coming. That it's a good way to hype it. And especially in front of this movie, I think it's super important for them to give us something saying this shit ain't over, even though this is kind of a finality movie.
Yeah, and I think Deadpool reinvigorated the franchise in a major way. And, Apocalypse, even though it came out so much after Deadpool, which was only, I guess, 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was all shot and done when Deadpool was released.
Oh.
So Logan is kind of the first movie they've made since Deadpool.
Yes, and we'll get into that, being that, we got an R-rated Wolverine Logan movie because of this Deadpool movie, for the most part, and its success. All right, moving on to some DCEU news. Last week, we also discussed the Wonder Woman movie had been tested. They showed it to test audiences in terms of tweaking parts of the movie, see if it worked. Now, Slash Film, there's an article that says, from Slash Film, we saw 16 minutes of Wonder Woman, and it looks like the movie DC needs right now. They describe the 60 minutes. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to read it, but I'm just going to read a bit of what they were shown. So they visited Warner Brothers post-production for Wonder Woman. Patty Jenkins sat down with them to preview some footage from the movie. They were shown 4 different scenes from Wonder Woman, which totaled about 16 minutes of footage. They said there were some unfinished effects, an incomplete sound mix, a temporary score. The scenes in question gave us a good idea of what we can expect from Patty Jenkins, and it looks exactly like the kind of movie that DC Expanded Universe needs right now. Anthony, you told me that you read this and spoiled it for yourself?
I did.
Can you tell us, without spoiling it, is this positive or negative? What did you get from this?
It's tough reading. It's just reading it, so I don't really know without any context on how it's shot. But it looks interesting. Her origins slightly tweaked, so I'll give you that.
Okay.
And there's a couple conflicts that like on different parts of the world. It's interesting.
Okay.
I read it and I was like, oh, I'd be into watching this.
I'm digging this. All right, well, that's good. That's hopeful. I don't want to read it. I'm not going to read it. The links will be in the show notes, listener.jockandnerd.com/157, where you can always find links to everything we talk about. Kevin, you excited for Wonder Woman, or are you worried for Wonder Woman?
A little both.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see it.
Yeah.
Definitely see it in the show at the theater, but I don't know. It just makes you wonder what's going on over there.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know what the shit is going on there. This is like the in-between movie between the upcoming directors fighting for creative control. Mm-hmm. This is still a little bit in that void of the studio may still fuck around with your shit because they have yet to deliver a hit movie.
It seems like those movies were all made by committee.
Yes, that's the problem.
Trust me, no one understands the pain the DC fans feel with these movies as X-Men fans because we have the same shit going on.
Very similar.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just lack of vision, run by committee,
all over the place.
All the fuck over the place.
That is interesting. I didn't even think about that.
So don't tell me I'm a Marvel fanboy, internet.
Yeah, because listen, DC fans, the X-Men fans know what you're going through.
Yep.
We've finally only now, after 17 years and 10 movies, they may have gotten it right, like completely. Okay,
I would argue they've gotten some of it right.
All right, no, okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But speaking of R-rated movies and Logan and Deadpool, apparently DC, like we said, what are they doing? They're reactionary assholes. Oh, surprise! DC reportedly open to making an R-rated superhero movie following Logan and Deadpool's success.
Oh shit!
Are you fucking kidding me? They're gonna just shoehorn? Are they gonna show us Wonder Woman boobs? What is this? What?
If it puts asses in the seats.
The Wrap reports that a well-placed insider at Warner Brothers DC Films division has told them that when it comes to whether or not they'll make an R-rated superhero movie, their answer is 100% yes with the right characters. Now, it's not a huge guarantee, but we've also always said like Lobo would be a great R-rated movie.
I mean, they should be open to even Marvel should be open to making R-rated stuff, and they do it kind of on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily a negative. It's just the fact that it's so it feels reactionary.
It always does.
I think you need a soundbite of Donald Trump just saying wrong.
I mean, on the other hand, I would love give me an R-rated Batman. Give me an R-rated Batman.
Yeah, there's tons of characters that can be R-rated. It just feels reactionary. That's all.
Very reactionary. Look, they also mentioned the Black Adam movie that we know The Rock's going to be in. Could that be R-rated? I don't know. Marvel has said explicitly, we're not going to do R-rated movies, big movies. I mean, it's Disney. They got a lot to risk there.
Well, if there's a bright side to the X-Men being with Fox, they can be like, hey, you know what? We're just going to make an R-rated movie.
They can take some risks.
For as terrible as a lot of those X-Men movies are and have been, you never would have gotten Deadpool out of Disney. Not in a million years.
No, hell no.
Or anything like it.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting, reactionary assholes. They've also, DC, speaking of their continuity and the way their universe is shaping up, they have said that upcoming films are going to have not only flashbacks, but flash forwards.
Oh, shit.
Doesn't sound confusing at all. So producer Charles Roven addressed this issue of a fluid timeline. He was talking to comicbook.com about Wonder Woman, and he said, for example, the Justice League movie will take place in a universe that's post-Batman v Superman, just like Batman v Superman takes place in a universe that's post-Man of Steel. When we're dealing with either the Flash or Aquaman, since they will take place in a universe that has happened after Justice League, the characters and the world will be informed by the movies that preceded them, except that there's flashbacks or whatever within those particular movies and flash forwards within those particular movies. Ruggs, does this sound overly complicated to you at all?
I don't like the flash forward.
Yeah, I don't understand. How are you going to work that in? You're just that gets confusing. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I think flashbacks are fine. I just think when you're flashing forward into stuff that's out of context, that might be rough.
I mean, are they going to jump ahead and show us origins of people before I don't understand. What are you doing?
It sounds convoluted.
It sounds horrible.
That flash scene in BVS was like the most confusing shit ever.
Yes.
Same thing with the whole desert dream parademons shit.
So
like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And so we're talking about what the hell's going over here. I think this is an excellent example of the mindset over there. Like, they're still not getting it.
They're not getting it, and they're trying hard not to be Marvel. Is the other half?
Yeah, that's what that stinks of.
Yeah,
but they don't know how to be themselves yet.
Right,
is the problem,
and it might take.
They don't have an identity,
especially with all the stuff that's been going on with Batman, the Batman movie, and Affleck not directing and possibly not starring. You asked me about the Wonder Woman movie. I hope it's good.
Yeah,
I hope Wonder Woman does well and Justice League does well, or else there's not going to be any more of these DC movies.
I mean, if they don't, I think you consider another hard reboot every fucking thing. Start over.
Yep. You almost have
to. Never know with these movies. Like it's DC's got a lot of marquee value. Wonder Woman's the first female led movie.
Yeah, that's important for them.
There's a lot of risk involved here, and DC's got right now a shitty record, so they're not batting 1,000. So anything could happen. Even if the movie's decent, it could fucking not play. So,
yeah. But where do you go from there? I mean, do you hard reboot everything?
I mean, they've already didn't they say that Snyder is directing Justice League 2 also? I'm like, let's see the first one.
What I would do if I was DC, I would take something that's self-contained. And just blow it out of the water. Just take one self-contained thing that could exist on its own. They already blew The Dark Knight Returns, which is a thing that stands on its own. So they could never do that. Snyder fucked that over. Like The Watchmen stands on its own.
Yeah.
Make one great movie of something that stands on its own. Like something that is like, I remember there's all kinds of little like Justice League stories that stand on their own.
Absolutely.
Like, the Anti-Monitor or something like that that's really big and they can do in one movie and just fuck all the continuity. Just tell that one story.
Yeah.
Don't worry about establishing anything. Just make that movie and then make it good.
They're trying
and then
so hard.
Worry about rebuilding afterwards.
Yeah.
But isn't that what they did with The Dark Knight? And then they're like, well, I mean.
Yeah. That was their standalone.
That's not what The Dark Knight was. Batman versus Superman was not The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is a completely different movie.
Right, but
The Dark Knight,
they made something that was great standing on its own, and instead of building on that, they're like, no,
it's done. It's done. It's done. Man.
I would love to sit here and bash DC.
Yeah.
But I don't want to waste a whole Logan podcast doing it.
Okay, moving on. Let's get to some Marvel news.
I'm saying I could do this all day. I could just talk shit.
Well, yeah.
They fucking suck dick.
Wow. Yeah, no, I just thought this, these quotes were just interesting to get into the mindset of some of the producers, and it's not surprising. But let's carry on. March is an awesome geek month. We got Logan. We're gonna get Kong Skull Island, and we're gonna get Iron Fist on Netflix. Now, listener, if you have been looking at the internet, the review embargo, they sent out the first 6 episodes of these things for reviewers, and boy, is this show getting thumped by critics.
Oh, shit.
It's kind of a bummer.
It's getting all kinds of flack all over the place. It's getting that it sucks.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's getting the whitewash thing still.
Yeah.
It's getting that.
I mean, I've seen one positive review. Also, they have come out and said he will not be wearing his costume or mask in this at all. So that's already one step removed from everything they're giving us. But so, for example, Variety says Iron Fist is the most frustratingly and ferociously boring example of Netflix drift, pacing problems in some time. And the one thing we always harp on these Netflix series, we love them. They're too fucking long. You don't need 13 episodes, man. You could do this in 8 to 10 episodes easily.
Yeah, 8 or 10. That's good. It's a good number.
So, I mean, how do you feel about this, Anthony?
I mean, I'm obviously slightly disappointed, but I'm going to watch it because the completist in me has to fucking do this because I'm pumped for Defenders and I've liked everything Netflix has.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, I know I'm going to go in with a little negative bias, but I don't want it to completely cloud my judgment of the show.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's already
and I think we all, maybe not Rug Boy as much, but me and you get very influenced by reviews prior to watching something and then just come in with that kind of mindset.
But now if I just lower my expectations a little bit, I may end up enjoying this a lot more than I think. Look, it's like you said, we've already got invested in these 4 series. They're building the Defenders. Yes, I'm a Marvel completist. I'm going to power through this. But I'm reading things like, good luck, bingers. Getting through 2 episodes was a challenge. Jesus. So,
why did you read like 8 negative reviews?
Well, they're all negative.
You read one, stop.
Yeah. And it wasn't even the review. It was
the reviewers. If they're all saying the same thing, they're not wrong.
Right.
That's also a good point. There's a lot of consensus.
But the thing is, I mean, mixed reviews is one thing, but just all out negative or saying it's boring. I mean, first of all, we've seen, these Netflix series unfold before.
Yeah.
And, we're used to the slow, long burn of these series, and we like that. But we also want it to change.
Right.
Because we've seen them already, and we're like, okay, we don't want more of the same. We want things to get better or different or progress or grow. And it doesn't seem like that they're doing that. It seems like they're just going right back to the same formula and like dragging this slow burnout. And some characters are more compelling than others. Like Daredevil's very compelling. You got some great supporting cast members and the bad guys like Wilson Fisk. All of these cool things. You got the Punisher. You got Elektra. All right. But Danny Rand doesn't have that.
Yeah,
and they have Colleen Wing in there, and they're trying to make her something cool. And that might be okay, but I don't really see anything else other than that.
I think part of it is the fact that it's just Iron Fist. Like you said, this is probably the least compelling out of the characters they picked so far, but they kind of just got to get through this to get to Defenders. But yeah, Iron Fist was never as compelling as Daredevil or Luke Cage or even just the Jessica Jones they've given.
Have you ever read Iron Fist comics?
No.
Nope.
The Matt Fraction things was it Matt Fraction that did Iron Fist?
No,
or somebody else?
I don't know. He did Hawkeye. I don't know.
He did no, it wasn't Matt Fraction. I think some other guy did a Iron Fist story like 3 or 4 years ago. That was cool, and that was the only thing I ever read my whole life of Iron Fist.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the prime of it was like in the 70s when kung fu movies were popular, and this was a thing. And so we knew going in, this is a tough character to sell. Sounds like they did as best as they could.
If you have Iron Fist and you don't have the best martial arts in any show, thus far, then you're pretty much, you're shit. Because if the kung fu that was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer was better than Iron Fist,
that's not good.
You got a problem.
That's not good. Look, it's possible the back half gets a lot better. We don't know. It's just they saw the first half setup. Does the costume thing bother anyone? Anthony, I know you love the costume.
I love the Iron Fist costume.
You're right. Didn't you dress up for Iron Fist for Halloween last year? That's what I remember.
No.
Well,
absolutely
that wasn't
not.
you. Who the fuck was that then?
Is that what
absolutely
your Facebook
not.
says?
It's the other Asian guy,
Oh, it's the other one.
Am I upset? I mean, it's this fucking thing that these Netflix shows do where they take like little things and draw them out so much. So I'm not surprised. It is kind of stupid. I think his costume would look kind of cool.
I don't know, with the full like top mask yellow thing and the fins. And
listen, if they're doing all kinds of shit on Arrow, you can do it.
Yeah, you could have toned it down, I guess.
Hey, they pulled off fucking Matt Murdock wearing a fucking sock on his face.
But that sock looked fucking badass. He looked
exactly.
like a ninja.
But I'm saying, if you heard before looking at that show, the guy's going to wear a black sock on his face, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Why isn't he wearing the traditional costume?
And they could just take the same sock, dye it yellow, and boom, there you go.
There you go. Save some money. So I guess he won't wear a disguise at all. Like people are just going to know, Danny Rand, he's this crazy glowy fist guy.
We'll watch the show and we'll figure it out. We'll
okay,
see.
That sounds like a good idea. Moving on to some more colorful, fun news. Thor Ragnarok put out pretty cool photos. 9 real photos. If you guys click the link, there's a photo gallery, and you get really good looks at Thor, Hela, and Valkyrie. Now, Chris Hemsworth has short hair in this. He's not holding Mjolnir. This is like the Battle World one. And you see Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson looking pretty cool. Loki looks awesome. There's a shot of Thor and Bruce Banner in what looks like they're in some like Chuck E. Cheese playset. I don't know what that is. And Hela or Kate Blanchett as Hela looks pretty cool, like the incarnation of death. And then you got the Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster, and he just looks completely crazy. silver hair and like it's great. He's got like silver hair and like a blue metallic stripe coming down from his lip, or gold vest. I love the colors so far. Like this is a different color palette than any other Thor movie.
We'll see how it looks on screen, but I do enjoy the colorfulness. I do enjoy it looking so fucking wacky. And you didn't? Did you mention Thor's hair?
Yeah, his hair's got like he's got something shaved into it, like a Z or something.
Oh, he's got no hair. He cut it.
Well, he's got short hair. Yeah, he cut his traditional locks. So, look, already this looks like a much different Thor movie than all the other Thor movies. We also have a full plot of the movie, and it sounds awesome. Here's what it is. In the film, Thor will arrive in Asgard after hearing about trouble in his home world. And when he arrives, he finds Loki's style of ruling while impersonating Odin has led to some lapses in the rules and leads to the freeing of prisoner Hela. Thor and Hela naturally come to blows when they meet, which sees Thor blasted to Sakaar, described as a barbaric planet ruled by the charming but nefarious Grandmaster, played by Jeff Goldblum. There he meets Valkyrie, who is also hiding out on the planet, and brings him to the Grandmaster to make him a gladiator, where he meets the most popular competitor in the arena, the Hulk, Geek Boner, and loses his trademark hair and hammer. Mark Ruffalo said he's much
summary, or is this like a spoiler? What the fuck is this?
This is the full plot of the movie.
Holy fuck.
Mark Ruffalo says about the Hulk, he is much more of a character than the Green Rage Machine you've seen in Avengers. He's got swagger. He's like a god. And then they get together. Turns into a road trip. EW reports Taika Waititi took inspiration from movies like 48 Hours, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And then, of course, we saw set pictures of Benedict Cumberbatch's Stephen Strange. He'll be in there. They're going to look for Odin. Wow, this movie's crazy. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait for this.
Sounds cool.
He says a lot of what we're doing with this film, in a way, kind of dismantling and destroying the old idea and rebuilding it in a new way that's fresh. Everyone's got a slightly new take on their characters. So in a way, it feels like this is the first Thor. I love the progression of these characters. They're developing these guys movie to movie. I'm telling you, this is going to be the best Thor movie yet. Like, it has a low bar after the second one.
I was going to say, they don't have a very high bar to clear here.
The first one, Kenneth Branagh doing Thor. The first one's not bad.
What is that, is Thor, would you consider that sub-franchise?
I mean, it's a
franchise. It's a sub-franchise.
Sub-franchise?
They're all sub-franchise.
It's probably the weakest of Iron Man and Captain America.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
anything Waititi does is gonna, be good. But I love everything I've seen so far. I love Taika Waititi. I love I wonder if it's gonna be like too funny and goofy. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. Too wacky.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that too.
If there's action involved and it's good, I think people will forgive it, and just because people like to see the Hulk and Thor interacting.
Yes, I can't wait.
First Avengers and all that stuff. They like that. We could see Hulk in a different light, where he's just not this little thing that the last time we saw the Hulk go all out was he was fighting. He's always fighting someone good.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's always mind controlled. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be cool just to see what he wants to do.
I want to see a scene of fucking Hulk in the middle with Doctor Strange and Thor and Valkyrie flanking him and ready to battle. Like, holy crap. Geek boner. Just wet myself.
Is this supposed to be the last Thor?
I don't know.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah. Hemsworth contract is coming up pretty soon. I think he's got one or two Avengers films, and that's it.
They're going to start recasting all these motherfuckers pretty soon.
You don't think Ant-Man's viable for 8 movies?
Yeah, sign up Paul Rudd for the next 30 years. Like,
He'll do it.
This is where, Avengers Infinity War is going to be important because, like I said before, this is going to be their chance they'll be able to reset a lot of stuff if they're going to just destroy everything with Thanos. You can recast everybody and be like, well, this is what reality is now.
We're going to see Riri Williams
exactly.
on the stage.
Maybe you see Miles Morales, Riri Williams.
Hey, I can get down with Miles Morales.
But these people, they're not going to be these characters
Spider-Gwen
forever, as we've seen with Hugh Jackman. Spider-Gwen, yeah, all that shit. Okay, next thing, if you listen to the show, you've heard us talk about cosplay and conventions and how sometimes the cosplay tends to ruin conventions. Now,
don't care.
Kevin Stencils, you've done a lot of conventions, right?
Yeah, I've done my fair share.
Cosplayers, a hindrance or a help generally in your observations?
I think it's a help, especially if you're bringing younger kids. You know, they want to come see everybody in the costumes. If you can't afford to pay $1,000 to, blow Norman Reedus, you want to just show up and see costumes. Cheap. I know.
Let's start a Patreon for that. Here's the thing. Do those cosplayers buy shit is the problem. Now, what I thought was interesting, there's a Florida Comic-Con this week that banned cosplayers.
Shit.
Elite Con is a Florida comic convention being held this weekend, March 12th. It bills itself as a premium collectibles marketplace for advanced collectors. So it's all about collectors collecting. And there's something they really want to emphasize, no cosplay.
Yeah, I think this is a great thing.
This is crazy. They got a lot of backlash. There was a lot of deleted posts. Reaction was strong. Ruggs, what is your take on this?
I applaud these people. I think that it's a great thing that they're doing this because you know what? You don't want some other kind of element of fandom to overtake the thing. Like these collectors and these vendors that are selling these collectibles, they want serious collectors. And I think that the serious collector that's really gonna buy shit, they hate the cosplayers.
Yeah.
They clog up the whole entire place. They're not there to buy anything. They're all narcissistic. All they want is attention. Do they bring something to the show? Sure, it's a visual that's there and whatever. But I mean,
it's overtaking it.
Let's be honest. I mean, it's a lot of people that look terrible in the costumes and smell horrible. Let's just say it.
Oh shit!
All right. I mean, some of them just go to like Party City and plop down like $30, and then and now I got to see this asshole, in a Halloween costume, and breathing my air and ruining my fucking experience.
Well, look, no, to your point, this is people's livelihoods. This is their business. Like, they live and die for this money. They got to make a return on their investment. And if you get in the way of that, it's going to fucking piss people off.
Listen, I've been to many a convention and talked to many a vendor and asked them how they doing. And they're like, it's all right. But I'm like, this place, you can't even walk through it.
Yeah.
But nobody's buying anything. They're just sitting there, and they're like, it's like all of these weirdos, like they find other weirdos and they hang out, which is fine. That's what a comic convention is supposed to be. But I mean, you have to support the art form.
Yeah.
You don't just kind of, you're basically cutting off the flow of money there by not having it's making it so people who want to buy stuff don't want to go to these shows.
Absolutely. And I agree. I got to give them props for not, it sounds like they're not going to cave for actually doing this and responding and holding their ground. And they're like, look, no offense. This is how we run things. You don't like it? You don't got to come. That's fine. We're a small show. It's a small venue. I honestly don't, I don't think it'll affect them too much. Because there's tons.
Listen, they're going to have opposition. And I hate that people crumble at the first sign of opposition. The first people to go, nah, you're infringing upon my right to be a person. I'm like, fuck you. Yeah. You're infringing on my right to fucking make money. And fucking get people into the show that don't want to come anymore because you're sitting there sticking up the place.
I mean, at this point, I would go to a place that was like no cosplay. That would pull me in. Right now, that would pull me in.
But then do you have a cosplay only convention?
Sure, why not? If that's what the fuck you want, then you do cosplay only. And you don't sell anything, just fucking stand around.
If you went up to somebody and asked them what they were wearing and they knew what the fuck they were, like 90% of the time, like you go up to a person, what are you dressed as? And you're like, that. And they have no idea what they're wearing. They're just doing it. It's like, you're not really a fan. Sorry. And that doesn't happen all the time. It's not like every person, but I'm going to say it's almost 50% of the time.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see if this trend catches on.
Well, because cosplay is a business unto itself at this point, too.
Yes.
Yeah. You got people like Jessica Nagari and didn't they have a show on TV that was like the cosplay champions?
There's this cool.
Wasn't it Face Off or something like that?
Oh, well, Face Off was the makeup competition.
But there was another one.
Special effect makeup.
Yeah, there was one on Netflix about cosplay.
No, but they could have their own cosplay convention where you sell stuff for cosplay. Yeah. There is this girl on Facebook. Actually, this one's kind of cool. Her name is Hijabi Hooligan. It's a Muslim girl who cosplays as superheroes, but she works in her hijab and her head covering in all her costumes. And it's actually, she's really good at like making her own style of these action figures in like the hijabi fashion. I thought that was neat. So, all right. Last thing
I want to get my opinion on this.
Go.
Don't care.
Okay, I didn't
care about this fucking cosplay.
Bro, do you even podcast?
That's why I didn't ask you
stupid
because you didn't give a fuck.
Oh my God.
When someone has abs like yours, they don't worry about things like these.
I never looked at it that way.
Don't care.
Good point. He brings up a good point. Moving on.
Are we talking about Logan or are we talking about cosplay? Holy fuck.
We're talking about Chris Hardwick, America's favorite nerd.
God.
Because I want to give a shout out to our listeners in California. Chris Hardwick is creating a fun new festival combining his loves of music, comedy, and comic books.
And cosplay.
And maybe not cosplay. Look, he already hosts at Midnight, Talking Dead, Nerdist podcast. He does stand-up. He does panels at Comic-Con. He started this festival called the Idiot Festival, except it's spelled ID10T. It's in Silicon Valley, June 24th, 25th. It's $55, but he's got awesome bands like Weezer, OK Go, TV on the radio. Then you're going to get comedians like Dimitri Martin, Michael Ian Black, Nikki Glazer, Michael Shea. And then you're going to have like Comic-Con tables. Publishers are coming out there. Boom Studios, Ani Press, Valiant Comics. So it's like a combination music festival, comedy show, comic book convention. This is kind of fun. I wish I could go to this. But if you are in Silicon Valley, definitely check it out. Let us know what it was like. What do you guys think? Do you think this sounds fun?
I'm looking at the lineup, and I would totally see some of these DJs are real good, man.
Oh, they got DJs too. See, you got a little EDM. They got a dance tent.
Yeah, the music in general is. I like this. I don't know though I don't know if anyone's gonna buy anything in terms of comics though.
I think it's probably just more for exposure and getting it in front of
if it's
another
just exposure,
audience.
It might work. But if you have vendors there, I got to tell you, when I'm at festivals, I'm not going to fucking vendors, dude. I'm seeing the music.
Yeah, I mean, if I was them, I would, I would be giving shit out. You give out free samples of comic books, maybe hook people in, get them to sign up, whatever. But you're right, it's mainly for the comedy, the music, and the camaraderie.
I don't think so. I think they're going to do. Look, they've got 50 comic book artists and creators that are going to be there.
Oh shit! Oh, that's cool. Maybe you get a commission.
But I'm saying I don't know if I would go. If I would go, I would see the music. I don't know if I'd go and hang out with the comic guys.
It sounds like they have an artist alley. Yeah, they're going to have a little bit of an artist alley at this music festival.
So is it a con with a concert or a concert with a con?
It's a concert con. It's a con.
It's both.
It's a dance EDM con.
It's a novel idea. It's stuff that, it's all stuff that I like too. I just don't know how much attention. I don't know if I could give my full attention to. I would give my full attention to one and miss out on something else.
It's a lot of stuff on the poster. It says music, comics, gaming, comedy, technology, pop culture.
It's at an amphitheater.
And it's at an amphitheater, which I don't know, the Shoreline Amphitheater in Silicon Valley, California. Good. Dude, Hardwick is just like everywhere. He's getting a full-time talk show, and this was surprising, but it's a really good idea.
See, now I'm thinking it's like Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Like Warped Tour, you walk around, they got all the T-shirts and all the little...
And instead it's like you put Comic-Con in there.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Well, they got that, and they also have, there's a huge... All those DJs are all DJs I recognize, so it's pretty big EDM names.
Oh, they got good. I mean, the band lineup was good too. So, good for them. Check it out, California listeners. All right, that's it for the news. We're gonna get to Logan right after a couple of promos from some fun podcasts.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Do you like superheroes? Do you like movies, television, and comic books? Do you like movies, television, and comic books about superheroes? Then you'll love Podcapers, the official podcast of aplacetohangyourcape.com. Featuring me, Scott James Merridew, we will be talking about a variety of geek and nerdy issues, like, is Marvel better than DC? What's going on with the X-Men film franchise? And is Disney evil? Yes it is. It's pure evil. Don't support them. They're terrible. I'm getting ahead of myself because we will be joined each week by a rotating panel of guests who will attempt to rein me in. Don't you worry. It's not just going to be one guy ranting for hours and hours and hours. I've been told I'm not allowed to do that. By this guy, in fact, David Molosky, the editor and creator of A Place to Hang Your Cape.
Hi, guys. Scott's holding me in a room and making me listen to his rants. Please listen to the podcast. He says it's the only way he'll let me leave.
Oh, David, you will never be allowed to leave. You will listen to me for all eternity, as will all of you who listen to the podcast. So please check out Podcapers, the official podcast of a place to hang your cape, where superheroes go to relax, but I never do.
Hi, I'm Mike White.
And I'm Rob St. Mary.
And we're the hosts of the Projection Booth podcast.
If you haven't heard of the Projection Booth, that's okay.
But we think it's time that you have.
We've been doing this for over 3 years now.
And we think we're doing a pretty good show.
Every week we look at a different film and put it in context.
We try to bring you interviews with the people behind the films.
Or experts on a subject matter covered in the film.
We don't specialize in any one particular genre or type of film.
We try to examine every aspect of cinema.
From every corner of the globe.
Even at 3 years, we barely just scratched the surface.
But we're ready. We're ready for you to listen to us.
That's right. Now's the time to give us a shot.
Download us through our free smartphone app.
Or through Stitcher, iTunes, Geek Juice Radio, Jackalow.
Or our website.
projection-booth.com.
We'll keep making great shows.
Now it's your turn to listen to.
Trivia Geeks, the Unpredictable Game Show podcast, is back with a brand new season. They've got a new host, new games, and a new day and time. But that's not all. Now you can download their companion app, Triv Now, and play along in real time. Watch Carrie on YouTube as she tries to convince her partner that his Dark Knight hasn't risen in years. Listen on Diamond Club and Alpha Geek Radio, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can also follow the show on Facebook and Twitter and get all the latest updates and showtimes.
Doc and Nerd.
Hey, listener, if you like what you hear so far, you should join our fan club, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. You'll be helping the show, and you're going to get awesome bonus audio every week, every month. All the kids are doing it. Check it out, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. All right, we've gotten to Logan. Let's talk about Logan. Before we do, of course, you know how we roll. We're going to spoil the shit out of this movie, listener, so...
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Nice. Spoiler time.
You gotta have that disclaimer, because we're going to get into Logan, which is currently 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's start with a little bit of box office numbers. It did really well opening weekend. It made $33 million on its opening Friday. It had a budget of only $97 million. So the first weekend, it did $88.3 million domestically, $240 worldwide.
Oh, shit.
Making it the fourth biggest R-rated opening weekend in history. Not just March, of all time. And so to date, domestic, it's up to $114 million as of March 9th. $305 million worldwide already. Which is not bad.
They made their money
Let's
back.
put this in context.
Yeah.
Let's put this in context, though. Let me preface with, did you ever think you would hear this?
Yeah.
7-day total between Deadpool and Logan.
Yeah.
Deadpool 180 domestically, Logan 114. So
wow.
Logan's doing well, but it's not Deadpool numbers. And did you ever think that a fucking Deadpool movie would outdraw the 9th or 10th movie that Wolverine's been in?
The 10th X-Men movie, but arguably the most famous X-Men people know, but yet Deadpool.
Yeah, the most famous X-Men ever.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, but don't discount new though. It was the first Deadpool movie.
That's true. It was Deadpool 1. Yes.
Yeah, there's a little fatigue on Logan.
There's a little fatigue. I'll go there. I'll give you that.
But hey, I think that the word of mouth is good, and it's gonna continue to do well. It's gonna get killed by Kong, but this week, who knows?
Who knows? Actually, I don't know if it's gonna get killed by Kong, so we'll see.
It's super. You never know.
The Kong buzz it seems very inconsistent.
I'm plugged into the whole kaiju Kong thing. So if my interpretation of the buzz is completely different than yours, so if you're outside of that circle, what is it to you?
Yeah, that's a thing that's happening. It miit be neat. It might not. I'm not a big kaiju guy, so I was like, "Oh, King Kong, neat. I'll see that." So I don't know if that tells you anything. That's pretty anecdotal in my eyes, but
this.
I was listening to Howard Stern, and they were talking about it. So I'm like, okay, they're talking about it on Howard Stern going to see it this weekend.
That's interesting.
Then maybe it's got a pretty good buzz going.
Dude, even
I hope so.
Logan opened big in China, and this article said they cut 16 minutes of the movie. Really? Probably all the fucking violence and swear words, but it's still opened big for a Chinese opening. So let's just start with our opening thoughts overall of the movie. Kevin Stencil's, you're a featured guest. Why don't you start us off?
I've seen it twice already.
Wow.
Because I always have to, because I pee during every movie.
You got to get the Run Pee app.
We talked about this last time.
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, no, well, so I saw it twice. I liked it a lot more the second time. The first time I went in, it was like the same thing when I went into Dark Knight Rises. I was like, oh man, it's such a bummer that this is the last one. And I went in with that being a drag. And I'm so glad you were like spoilers right away, because I was a little let down by the whole X-24 thing.
Okay.
I really think for the last movie, they should have picked a better villain, a more comic booky villain.
Yeah.
Like it would have been cool to see like Sabretooth come back or something.
Yeah.
And I get it, because you're like, we don't want to even, acknowledge that X-Men Origins happened. But you had the adamantium bullet.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy like references to things that they still happen after they reset the timeline. It's confusing.
So, but I mean, overall, yeah, it was definitely the best X-Men movie, probably the best X-Men movie so far.
All right.
You really can't, I don't think you can debate that, really.
Anthony, your thoughts?
I will also go best X-Men movie. I'll take it a couple steps further. I'll go one of the best superhero films.
Oh, snap.
And my parents both saw it. My dad, not a huge superhero fan. He liked it. So I think it's actually just a good overall film.
Interesting. Has a lot of heart. Rug Boy, opening thoughts. What'd you think?
Thought it was good. Pleasantly surprised. Shows you that you can do a lot with a small budget and still get a good movie. And at the end of the day, these are stories about characters. And if you have good characters and you have a good arc for them, and you have good interactions between the characters, you can do something serious and still be fun. It had humor.
Yeah.
It had moments where you chuckle. It had a few weaknesses, but overall, I think they did a great job. And they did make a very serviceable film that closes out the chapter. And it is one of the better movies that I've seen this year. So,
yeah, I mean, largely, I gotta agree with all you guys. When the movie was done, it was like sad in a good way. Like it's such a devastating, disheartening ending, but what an amazing way to end the run of these characters that really you've kind of known for 17 years. It's a fitting ending. It was surprisingly poetic and meaningful and gritty and realistic in the way you always wanted it to be realistic. Great performances. The chemistry of the main three, I think, really carried most of it. The story, while being straightforward and possibly derivative of another movie, we'll get into that. Still, it was beautiful to see this whole character end, and I was tired. Like Hugh Jackman made me tired watching him. He was so battered. So that came across, and just to see a dying, frail Professor X was also, it was just like it was like seeing a friend die or something. Oh. It get me in the feels, so sentimental. But
I want to throw in it's the feels. And the movie gave me the feels.
Totally the feels. And I think that's why, Anthony, like you said, your parents liked it. Like it has a lot of heart, has a lot of emotion that just goes beyond superhero movies. Absolutely in the top of the X-Men movies. And yeah, it is going to join top 5 of all superhero movies to date, without a doubt.
Can I ask one question?
Let's go.
How did you get your parents to see this, Anthony? Like what prompted this? That your parents
So my dad and my mom and dad saw it on their own, but my dad saw commercials for it. And since the commercials were so kind of ambiguous, he thought it was a Western.
Wow.
Nice.
And was like, I'm just going to go see it because I like Western movies. And sure enough, it's a fucking superhero Western.
Yeah.
So that's what hooked him.
That's great. It is.
It's heavily inspired by Western movies. I mean, the fucking quote at the end is from Shane.
They're watching Shane in the movie. The plot of the movie kind of mimics the plot of Shane. Of course, and there's a lot of Unforgiven. You think of that. It's definitely a great Western feel. So let's just talk about what worked. What'd you guys like? Who wants to go first?
I'll start.
Okay.
Because I like to fucking talk.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, right. What worked? I mean, you mentioned it, Imran, character performances. Jackman and especially Patrick Stewart, they really had stuff to chew on here and really like kind of be wacky and be different and do some different things rather than play their standard Wolverine Professor X. That and then Daphne Keane just held her own with all of them.
Amazing.
That work. Yeah, I mean the character work was amazing. I would also throw in, there was just a lot, like, you could tell James Mangold really cared about this and put his all into this. And it seemed like the studio, like, they got it right for the Wolverine up until the end when it got real comic booky, but here they were like, all right, we trust you, just go for it. And he like had a lot of really good moments that were like character moments that were just really awesome. I mean, Professor X having basically Alzheimer's was amazing. Like that, anyone that has ever had someone like that in their family can totally relate to that. So right away, you're like, wow, a beloved character is withering away before my eyes. Like that's totally relatable.
It's so hard to watch, but yeah, when he helped him to the toilet, like if you've ever taken care of an elder relative or a parent, like that gets you right away. You see this father-son chemistry and relationship. And I mean, the whole movie was about family, you know, what makes a family, different families. And so the themes in this movie were great. Did anybody find it weird that Charles was swearing? Was that like off-putting it all right away? Like it was a little bit weird, but then I just loved it. Old people do this. Yeah, old people and like you don't think about the most
old
powerful.
People don't give a fuck.
Yes,
and when they have Alzheimer's, they really don't give a fuck.
Listen, you better believe when I'm that age, I'm going to be racist and fucking swearing up a storm.
Going full Gran Torino?
Hell yeah. Look, if you made it 80, 90 years, you deserve it. You earned that shit. Be as racist as you want. I don't care.
What are they going to do to you?
Yeah, what can you do? Fuck you guys.
There was one character moment. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but there's one that in particular stood out when I'd have this discussion with my friends. They're like, what was your favorite little character moment? And for me, it was like Professor X speaking Spanish to X-23 and talking about the choo-choo. Like for whatever reason, that just like hit me in the feels. I'm like, that is just so cute. And it's this like little kid that like, you know, is this badass. And he's talking Spanish and talking about the choo-choo with her.
Bro, this like, Daphne Keane, like that, she comes out of nowhere. Like, I think this is her first movie, and she doesn't talk for half the movie, and she doesn't need to. She sells it so hard. When she came out with that dude's head in her arms, like the audience gasped, and then she like throws her fucking backpack off, and she's like, "Let's go." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like she channeled Hugh Jackman's rage.
Yeah,
amazingly.
I would argue she was more Wolverine than Wolverine was in half the movies.
Yes,
and the other thing that kind of took me by surprise was because I'm a big X-Men fan, huge Wolverine fan. So like when they did the last one, though, Wolverine, they had like buy the Blu-ray with the extended R-rated version. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I want to see Wolverine cutting some people's arms off.
Yeah, what was
cutting
that?
Throats? Nothing much. I mean, there was a little bit more, but it finally gave me all that, and I almost couldn't even enjoy it because it was like Wolverine leave, like run, like the suspense was so great.
Yeah,
and it was almost like a horror movie. You know, you just wanted to see Wolverine get the fuck out of there every time.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, great, you know, he's just going to murder 300 ninjas right now, and that'll be just cool. It's like, no, get out of there. So.
No, this is a Logan that, you know, he's been hiding out. He doesn't want to help people. Like, that's a great theme. Like, if you think of the refugee situation, you know, the world is going through, is it your problem? Do you help? Like, he didn't have to help them. But Charles, of course, convinces him, like, you know, an adoptive dad.
And it's that theme of like, when do you help? When does it become your problem? But it's also plays on the fact that Logan, every time he gets close to someone in his life, they die.
Yeah.
Every fucking time. Either because he outlives them or it's just because he brings trouble to them. And that's why the ending works so well, because he finally like got around to it and like this person doesn't die.
I mean, he's only had like Jean Grey, Yukio is the only kind of people who've been somewhat close relationship with in this universe.
What are you talking about?
No,
dude.
No, but before they reset the timeline.
Oh yeah, but
they were a thing.
You know,
you shouldn't see that a lot. Yeah, he was always the loner.
Every fucking person he gets with just dies or gets in trouble.
Yeah, the mortality rate on Wolverine's girlfriends is pretty high. It's gotta be like the 90%, you know?
You don't want to be dating James Logan Hewlett.
Nope.
Howlett. Whatever his fucking name is. Ruggs, what do you got? What'd you like? What else did you like? What worked for you?
Wow. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the overall feeling of that they toned down the story. They basically made it very simple and direct. It wasn't overcomplicated. It was very simple. It was just about, does Wolverine want to help this girl? And I think that once he meets the guy with the metal arm, I don't know what his name is. The Reaver.
Pierce, Dr. or Donald. Pierce. Yeah, Donald Pierce.
Yeah,
who's
once
from the
he
comics.
meets him and that piques his interest, and you know that he's going to end up helping this person because he's already like trouble has found him,
right?
And he knows that there's no way he can avoid this trouble now, and he's got to just. And you know that he deep down wants to do something, and it's like that's who he is, and he's eventually going to turn around and actually be the hero that everybody knows that he is. So it's great.
Yeah, he will do the right thing.
It's that flame that's lit in him all of a sudden.
What's cool about that is he's going to help, like Rugboy said, but he justifies it because it's a payday. So he's like in the beginning, he's like, this is going to be a huge payday. That's why I'm going to help, because we're going to get paid and me and Professor X can get on that boat. But subconsciously, he just wants to fucking help.
That's right. He was just doing it for the money initially.
He's justifying it by being like, I'm getting paid. Me and Professor X are going on that fucking boat and I'm going to help him shit all day. It's going to be great.
And that happens to all of us. Yeah. We always need that reason to do something, but even though we're going to do it anyway. So it's cool.
I mean, even though the story was
real,
like,
it's very real.
It was real. It was straightforward, but it was great because I didn't know where it was going. I kept finding myself thinking like, all right, now it's going to happen. All right, they got the girl now. And like, I had no idea where it was going. Although the minute they came up on Eric LaSalle and the Black family, I was like, oh, they're all dead. They're not going to make it.
That's the Soul Glow guy, by the way. From coming to...
From what?
Yes.
Coming to America.
Well, yeah, he was on ER. He's done a lot of things. Eric LaSalle's done a lot of shit.
It bothered me so much where I recognized him from, and I had to look it up. And when I found out it was Coming to America, I was like, holy shit, it's that douchebag from Coming to America.
Eric LaSalle's done a lot of shit, yeah. But, yeah, it was surprising because I didn't know where it was going, and the second half road trip part was great. I love how there was, like, action movie superhero tropes that they kind of perverted. Like, that scene where they're being chased, and they're about to drive through the fence. Now, normal action movie, they're going to jump through that fence and sail to safety. This one, he hits the fence and boom, that's it. You're like, this ain't happening. I got to back up. I thought that was pretty surprising. And that was cool. I did not expect that. Yeah, I like that kind of shit.
There's another one. There's another one that's actually even a big character moment.
Yeah.
That I'm sure you guys remember. Normally, after when Eric LaSalle, what's his character's name, his parents die, or not his parents, his family dies.
Yeah.
But he helps and saves Wolverine, remember?
Yes.
And he's pointing the gun at Wolverine. Normally in the superhero film, before that guy dies, he would like acknowledge the hero and die. And it'd be like this tragic thing where he like, thanks, man. Like I got your back on this one. Not this guy. Not in this movie.
He just fell over.
He takes the gun and he wants to kill him. He shoots Wolverine. He shoots at Wolverine. It clicks empty, and then he dies. And Wolverine's almost resigned to like, I fucking deserve it. Yeah, I brought fucking trouble to your family. You should kill me. Like that never. That's a superhero trope that never happens. It usually is the other way around, where the dying guy acknowledges like, thank you so much for bringing
he was
all
still
this
trying
fucking
to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, he knew it was coming too. He wanted to leave, and Professor X is like, no, let's stay. And we all knew that it was coming.
Well, that's the one thing I was like, dude, you know you're being hunted. Why are you bothering this nice family? You've just killed them all. Just get the fuck out of there. But
they don't know that they have Caliban.
Oh, that's right. At that point, yeah,
they don't.
I like Caliban. I like Stephen Merchant as Caliban.
But Wolverine had to have known. Like they're not far behind us. You know.
They're gonna find me. And then, in his defense, Eric LaSalle's character, like, there was a clone of him, attacking him. So how does he know which fucking one it was?
Right.
He just saw another Wolverine come in and kill his family. That looks just like him. I love the little nods to where the kid shaved his beard into his sideburns. And he's like, oh, who did this, you bastards? I love how he's
with the clippers.
Yeah. Like, I love, like, another movie that has themes of is, like, the wrestler, like an old warrior, an old hero, and he's kind of a myth and a legend. And that little black Iceman kid had the Wolverine toy in his hands at the end.
Speaking of the wrestler, and we talked about Shane already, as soon as they started doing the whole Shane thing, I was like, because, going into this, you got to wonder, all right, is he going to die in this movie?
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? They're pumping Shane so hard. I'm thinking at the end, it's going to end like Shane, where he kind of rides off into the sunset on the horse and he's kind of half limped over.
Yeah.
And it just ends and you don't know if Shane lives or dies.
Oh.
That's the famous ending from Shane.
Okay.
And same thing with the wrestler. You know,
Yeah,
he makes
yeah.
that jump. You don't know. I thought they were going to leave it ambiguous, especially with how hard Ryan Reynolds is. I heard Ryan Reynolds, and this could be internet bullshit, is like parked outside of Hugh Jackman's house, like honking the horn and saying like Wolverine,
You
come
wanna-
out.
come on.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's still look. He said this is his last movie. It's the 9th time, but this is in the future. And my other question to you guys: this seems like one possible future ending. Some people I saw some people were like, this is an alternate reality, an alternate version of this character. But this is the same character, but it is a possible future. So he could show up before this year in any movie,
and Deadpool can time travel.
And Deadpool can just wink at the camera and be like, it doesn't make sense, but he's here. Can you put that shit on vibrate? What are you doing? We're recording a podcast, you asshole. Sorry, go ahead.
I would think it would I think it would damage this movie if he showed up in any other films.
Really?
I'm talking about Hugh Jackman Wolverine. If Hugh Jackman shows up in other films, I feel like this one was like the closer. Like this one was literally like a goodbye film for him.
Not movie at all. Like he should never play Wolverine again.
I think he should be done. I think this is the movie to go out and ride off in the sunset in.
I think that's how he wants it.
Yeah.
I think he wants to end on top, Seinfeld style.
It would cheapen. I mean, I agree. It would cheapen the impact of this movie.
But there was those rumors that he talked to Marvel and where he made a overture to Marvel.
If MCU makes him an offer, you better believe I think he wants to play in that sandbox over there as Wolverine. But I don't know. What do you do? Like, is Daphne Keane the next Wolverine? Like, I don't think you continue with her as the main.
That's what Mangold wants to do.
Logan anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Mangold said he wants to make a movie with Daphne Keane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also read that he's going to have input on who the next Wolverine is.
Yes, Hugh Jackman gets to pick who takes over his Wolverine role.
I don't know if he gets to pick. I'm not going to go that far, but
he has a say.
Say they're going to consult him.
Yeah. What else did we like? I thought the score was very good. Anybody notice the score?
Score was good. Yeah, the score was really good. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot. There was I'm talking, the character moments were just amazing. Like when they bury Professor X and he's like, there's water here. Like he's referencing them being on the boat together. And then, the weird, even like the conversation, how do you say his name? Caliban and Logan, when they're talking about taking care of Professor X, like, no, it's your turn. They're like, no, it's your turn. Like that, those little things, like that's fucking real, dude. That's like in nursing home shit where you're like, man, I gotta wash my dad. Like that's crazy. You do. You're like, that's the shit that happens. Or like when he gets all pissed off at the car when Professor X is dead and he just takes a shovel to it. Like all those little character moments. Even at the end when she takes the cross and makes it an X, like all that stuff.
That was beautiful.
Right in the fucking feels, dude. All of that shit.
Oh, that was a beautiful moment because she's picking it up. I'm like, wait, what are you doing? And then she puts it down. And I was like, oh shit, wow. And then it just that's it.
What I wish would have happened, and it's great because one of the things that they've never done before, maybe they've done it, but I don't remember exactly where they did it, where they had the comic books there. And, Wolverine is conscious that he's a comic book character. Right. And that they made comics about the X-Men, and they got them in this ridiculous yellow suit. It would be really funny if right after they shaved his beard to look like Wolverine, that they look, we made this costume for you. Yeah. And then they beg him to put it on, and he puts it on just to make them happy for a second and takes it off.
Oh, that would have been fun. I think all X-Men fans really wanted him we never got to see him in the silly costume.
It would be through the kids, acknowledging the fan base, going, okay, you want me to put this on? I'll put it on. Just leave me alone.
Yes.
Happy. And he just stands there and gives you the middle finger claw.
I'd have been happy.
Yeah.
As soon as it opened and people were like, oh my God, I saw the Wolverine movie. It was so good. Like a week before it hit the theaters, I was just answer me one question. Do we get the costume? Because Hugh Jackman was definitely letting that rumor swirl.
Yeah.
And he wanted to. And I think it was doable in flashback or something, flashback or the idea with the kids is great. Even if they just put it on him while he was sleeping would have been great. But I understand why they didn't, And that was something I wanted to see, but it wasn't a huge concern I had, because as soon as I heard they were going to base this off the comic book Old Man Logan, which I don't know how many of you have read.
It has nothing to do with Old Man. It has a couple of broad themes. The theme of, Wolverine.
The road trip.
The road trip is in there. The theme of Wolverine in the future not wanting to pop his claws or be found, kind of living on a farm. And then the other interesting
mostly
thing
that
is
just setting and character.
and setting. Now, the other interesting kind of thing that they reference Old Man Logan is the Westchester incident that Charles briefly mentions. And apparently there was a flashback scene. They cut it out. Maybe it'll be on the DVD. But in this movie, we find out that it's possible that Charles, soon after Days of Future's Past, because it's amazing. 5 years have passed from the end of that movie to this, and all this fucking shit happens. Like, he must have killed all the X-Men, seized out right after that, and killed the X-Men in Westchester. Now, in Old Man Logan, it's a fucked up Westchester incident when Logan tells you. So I'll get a full confession. I never read Old Man Logan, but I watched the comics historian video. That guy does a great job on YouTube. It's like a 14-minute video. And he kind of narrates the whole story with panel art. Really good job. This Old Man Logan is completely different. There's Hulk gangs and Ghost Riders and old Hawkeye and Red Skull and a Venom dinosaur and a bunch of crazy shit and the spider buggy.
And that's why I was so terrified when I heard that. Logan, Old Man Logan.
The Westchester incident in Old Man Logan is nuts. It's all the villains are attacking at once, and Logan berserkers out and kills all of them, only to find out that Mysterio made all the heroes look like villains to him. He turns around and he killed everyone.
Jubilee's in his arms.
Yes, holy shit. And then he stumbles to the train tracks, lays his head down as a train goes over his head. It's a lot crazier. See, but I like this flip that fucking Charles, because a lot like the show Legion. You imagine a powerful mutant mind like that, when it starts to break down, he is a living weapon. Yeah. He is now a living weapon that needs to be medicated, needs to be watched constantly.
And was he in Cerebro?
What do you mean, the whole time?
Well, no.
When he killed everyone?
When it happened, yeah. Because that could really lead to a lot of anti-mutant sentiment, and that could be why they hunted all the mutants down.
Yeah, and they made, I guess, what is it? They put something in the food to prevent new mutants to kill them, and while they made their own mutants. Yes. Which is another interesting thing. Like, who has it worse? Was it X-23 or Logan? One kind of being tested on and changed into a killer, and the other one just being fucking bred as a killer from the get-go.
I would argue X-23 never had a childhood.
No, she didn't. She didn't know how to interact with anybody else.
I'd say
so. That's a lot rougher. But
that's probably why you can make the argument that she was even more ferocious than Wolverine.
Dude, she was
literally robbed of childhood.
Yes, amazing, wild, feral kid performance of this little girl,
and she never had to fight PG-13 style, which helps.
Which was great, man. Let's talk about some of the violence, because there's some fucked up stabbing shit. Stabbed from behind in front. You saw the fucking shit come out through the head. Many decapitations and amputations of arms and limbs. Holy shit, it was glorious.
There's blood everywhere.
It was glorious. Some of it maybe unnecessary, but whatever. It was awesome. Like, the beginning was fucking brutal. I love that his claws didn't work. Like, little touches like that.
Performance issues?
Yeah.
I was in the theater, and some asshole, there's always one, that brings their little kid to the movie. They had to leave as soon as shit got going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good, fuck you. Like, you don't bring a kid to this. Like a 4-year-old to this. Come on. What's the matter with you?
I would say the violence got a little repetitive towards the end, but I think this is where I'm going to kind of say that the R rating enhanced the film, because it provided that violence and the swearing and just how fucked up it's gotten in the X-Men universe. And I think
grounded it a little.
It grounded it, yeah.
It grounded it, and it showed that this world's fucking different now. Like, it's really gotten bad for the X-Men. And I think that R rating enhanced the film and did that for it. It didn't feel like it was just an R rating just because Deadpool was rated R. Let's just fucking make it rated R. Like, the
boobies were a little flagrant. Yeah, but
they leaned into it pretty good.
The boobies there was no reason for that girl to show her boobies, but they're like, you know what? Let's show some boobies. Why not?
It was one of the only times Wolverine smiled in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
But it also shows the kind of life he's living now. Like, he's dealing with these drunk fucks every day, and he's just taking.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, limo driver, just trying to make.
He's a limo
make
driver.
a living.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Just making.
I loved also. I loved the effect of when Charles would seize out, because in essence it's a very kind of simple camera shake effect. But boy, watching it made you disoriented. Like it fucked with your eyes, and like I felt like I was shaking. And especially the casino scene that was so long.
That was so awesome.
Holy shit, it was crazy because it's like so hard to watch because of the shake, but you get what everyone's going through, and you're tense. Like it made me like tense up and grab the railing because I'm like, you fucking get there. The people, and like the people were slowly starting to turn to shoot him, and he's just fucking slicing everybody up, powering through it. Oh, unbelievable.
So great.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean, I audibly gasped, like when Xavier got stabbed, like I audibly gasped. Like there was some reactions from me and the audience. We were like, holy shit, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Not like that, at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
It played out like a dream sequence.
Yeah. That part was a little confusing, but
you knew that when he said, like, this is the best day I've ever had, that he was going to be the goner, like, after that.
And it said that, like, Logan really didn't get to hear those final words that, were meant for him.
Every time Professor X was, like, in danger, I was literally like, no, save him, please. Please save Professor X. Like, the part, again, another character moment, when they're in the limo and X-23 covers Professor X from bullet the gunshots. Like, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, that's so cute.
Like, those two had a great relationship.
Yeah, you just felt everything. Like, everything felt real.
She was, she looked up to him as kind of a grandfather, and then Wolverine and Laura's relationship, and Wolverine and Charles, like the three-way, just very well handled, very well written. Let's get to a couple of our reviews from our friends, and it'll kind of guide us into what we didn't like about the movie.
Oh, shit.
And you'll see why. Here is the first one from Daniel Nosker of the Geek Street Podcast. Here's his review.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Daniel from Geek Street Podcast. Just wanted to give you some thoughts on Logan, and I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think after 17 years and a lot of hit and miss films, they got it right, and I'm super glad that this was Hugh Jackman's send-off movie, and it definitely deserved the rated R treatment. The scenes, the language, it all fit in this movie so well. It was definitely emotional. I mean, it was a great story, which made it emotional, but I mean, like I said, 17 years of us being invested in him playing this character was kind of emotional for me, at least. I don't know how it was for everybody else, but it definitely struck a nerve at the end of the movie. And I loved how they just kind of let loose on this film and they kind of gave the fans what they wanted. And I loved what they did with X-23, giving her the foot claws. I thought that was super cool. It was a nice tie-in. And you can definitely see where they pulled parts of the original Old Man Logan story and had to manipulate them to fit their story because of copyright issues. But hands down, I thought this was phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed it. And I mean, definitely gonna go see it again, and looking forward to hearing from you guys and your thoughts.
Right on. Thanks, Daniel. I wish she used her foot claws more instead of just the one time.
It was cool she had them.
Also, look at the production like of MCU compared to, we had 10 movies, 17 years from Fox, right? I think it's like 10 X-Men movies altogether.
Original trilogy, Apocalypse trilogy, 3 Wolverines and a Deadpool. Yeah, 10.
That's 10, right?
That's 10.
Marvel's given us like 14 movies in like about 9 years, just under 9 years. Holy shit. That's kind of crazy.
Well, that's a whole politics. Marvel did a good job of planning their movies. I think, Fox, like DC, they're like, well, let's just make this one, and if it makes money, we'll make another one. So,
I mean, especially with the X-Men, where they can fuck with the timeline, and at times it's like they don't really even care, how this continuity works. Although I saw a thing where in the Wolverine, there's a line Yukio says that kind of foreshadows the ending of this movie. Have you seen that? Do you guys remember that line?
I think that's a stretch.
You think it's a stretch?
You'll die with your heart in your hands.
Yeah, she's like, I see you holding her like she's the heart.
Yeah, but I mean, in that movie, he did flatline with his literal heart in his literal hand.
Yes,
so.
But a lot of people, like, somebody tweeted that to Mangold, and Mangold's like, well, very good.
You keep referencing the X-Men timeline as if this is something that's been thought through. But if you are following that, the Wolverine never actually happened in this timeline.
That's right. Everything after
erased.
1973 has been changed.
Right. But
so there's
in
like
this movie,
two
they allude to the Wolverine with the samurai sword in his place at his wherever his house is.
And there is a briefcase too. That briefcase is somewhere in the movie as well.
Yeah.
See, so it's a little.
So
it's a
little.
confusing.
You really can't. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about the fucking timeline when you're watching this movie. Doesn't matter.
No, you can't. It makes your head hurt.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Matt Delhauer, our buddy who does the What the Fuck Happens. Here's his thoughts.
What's up, dudes? It's Matt Delhauer. So I saw Logan recently, and I know Imran said that if I had done that, I should go ahead and send in a little voice thing about it on my take. So, to try and be brief, it was fucking amazing. I loved it. It already is ranked as what I believe to be the best X-Men movie. It also is now sitting in my top 5 Marvel movies, despite not being Marvel, like not MCU. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was unbelievably violent to the point of having physical reactions to the actual violence of it. I thought both Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart were fantastic. I honestly think Patrick Stewart could win an Oscar if they cared enough to try and put him up for it.
Yes.
I don't foresee that actually happening, but I think that was the caliber of acting that was going on in the movie. It was very refreshing to have a movie, a superhero movie specifically, that never really went too far over the top. And I believe that it is the movie that anyone should see if they say that they are an X-Men fan, if they're a Wolverine fan. Even if you're not, I would say see this movie. Hugh Jackman really went out on a high note. Everybody really kind of gave it their all with this one. And I think, above all else, it proved that not only can you do a great superhero movie that is rated R, but you can also do a good, serious, sometimes dark superhero movie that is 2.5 hours long that doesn't also make me fucking pissed off that I saw it.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
I wonder what he's talking about there.
I had to talk down Batman v Superman
Oh, that
by
movie.
seeing Logan.
Yeah.
For anyone who is on the fence, fuck you, go see it. For anyone who didn't like it, fuck you, go see it again. And I'll talk to you guys more about it down the road, most likely. Later on, guys.
Is this the Dark Knight of X-Men movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't see anything beating it.
Yeah.
But I think that this has been a huge course correction for Fox. But it makes you wonder, do they get the right message from it doing well? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we necessarily need an R-rated X-Men movie, but
we're going to get a lot more.
I think what this movie says more than anything is that you don't have to just sit there and make, like, Apocalypse is the perfect example. You can throw all the CG and all the bullshit that you want at the screen, and if there's nothing there, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a movie there.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, let's use some fucking effects, and you need to have something there.
Right.
The characters have to do something. They have to mean something to each other. They have to have a reason to be doing what they're doing, and you have to have emotional connections. I mean, the whole father-son thing that's there. And it's like that kind of pseudo family that is Professor X and Wolverine and Caliban. You know, they're a family and they're trying to survive. And there's real things there.
And that's always when
that
the
a lot of
X-Men,
movies don't have.
that's when the X-Men has always been the best. When you're talking about family, when this stuff goes beyond superhero gimmicks, like you want to do it right, you got to think the broader themes.
I'll tell you,
you don't need effects and shit like that.
I'll tell you the wrong message that I've read some reviews. They'll be saying like this movie transcends the genre, like as if like this is the type of movie that you need to make a good comic book film. No, this movie worked because this movie it worked in this context. It doesn't have to always be like this. It just has to have awesome characters and that really mean something, that are actually doing things that feel real. The wrong message would be making trying to recreate this film every time. It's not going to happen. 17 years is a long time for one guy to be playing a character. That's why this film hit the feels, along with the fact that it was so much heart was put into it. You're not going to just recreate this with the next film.
With like new characters that you're trying to introduce. I mean, that's the reason it worked is we knew these characters. And, speaking of Mangold, like you said, Anthony, he cared about this, but he also got these characters. And that's super important that he understood these characters and where they were. And you're right. It works now in this context.
And I think there was more character building in this movie than there was in that entire First Class trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, and you guys pointed out, I'm not
definitely there was no character building in the fucking last one. So.
No. Yeah. And it's all about character. All of it, I don't care about a flying trash vortex.
Yeah. It's a good thing that, see, the thing is Anthony's dad went to go see this movie, not probably seeing the other X-Men movies.
Yes.
But I think that,
you're right.
You could see it on your own and see it as a one, self-contained story. But if you watch it in context with X-Men and you've grown up with Wolverine and you've seen all the other movies and all the other phases of Wolverine and the other sides to Wolverine, that this is a great addition, and it does, it's a great piece of the Wolverine puzzle. It's integral now.
Yeah, it went where it needed to go, and what I kind of wanted it to do. It gave you something that you wanted. Okay, last one is from our friends David Malofsky and Scott Meridew from A Place to Hang Your Cape, and they have a new podcast called Podcapers. It's real short, but in this short review, he brings up a lot of things that'll help lead us into our little nitpick section. Just this will explain it.
Hello, Jock and Nerd. It's Scott Meridew
and David Malofsky
from Podcapers, the official podcast of A Place to Hang Your Cape.
We're doing our own Logan review episode.
And thought we'd send you some of our thoughts.
Like how X-24 could have been replaced with much more interesting characters.
Or how they never really explain the adamantium poisoning.
Or how this is the first X-Men film with boobs.
Boobies.
We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the film.
And you can hear the rest of ours in episode 5 of Podcapers, out March 22nd.
I forgot how funny Scott Meridew. He's like a geeky, neurotic John Oliver. He's hilarious. He's just like a cartoon character. But, look, they just brought up a couple of good points. Kevin raised his hand when he mentioned X-24.
Yep. I was not a fan. I mean, it was great. It works in the context of the movie. When you're doing something, it's going to be the last movie, and it's going to be the end-all, be-all.
Give me a good villain.
Yes.
The villains were overall kind of lacking. Kind of weird. You didn't know who the main villain was.
Yeah. They were ominous. They were threatening, I felt.
Yeah.
But
the guy behind the guy was nothing cool.
Yeah, the guy, yes. The Dr. Rice.
But when they were like, you can't teach rage. It has to come natural. I was like, maybe they did what I always thought they should do is get the fucking Sabretooth Liv Schreiber from the Origins movie.
Not Taylor Mane.
Well, and turn him into something like the Taylor Mane with the Weapon X project. I mean, soup him up, give him, better whatever, and kind of explain how he went from being the clean-cut guy in the one movie to the animal in the next.
Yeah.
And, whatever. Make, souped-up Sabretooth. I mean, that's... When they made Origins, I'm like, that movie is going to live or die by the Sabretooth portrayal.
Yeah.
And it was kind of whatever. I mean, I think he's a great actor. I've seen some of that at Roy Donovan, which is really good.
Yes.
But for the last movie, bring in an iconic Wolverine villain.
Okay, so you would want a Sabretooth. Ruggs, Anthony, what did you think about X-24? What should they have done?
X-24. Well, I was just going to piggyback. Let me piggyback on what Kevin said, and Ruggs can answer the X-24. Oh, wait, we're talking about X-24. I get them confused with X-23. Never mind. Just disregard what I just said.
We were talking.
Yeah, we were talking about X-24.
Okay, we're talking about the clone.
Yeah. I also agree that every time I wanted to sink my teeth into a villain, they changed it into this is actually the bad guy. Okay, this is actually. But they were ominous. Yeah. I'll give that. And I understand X-24 did work in this context in terms of the old Logan fighting his younger feral self. That works for this film.
Yeah.
But what ruins it for me is the fact that Wolverine Origins basically had X-24 disguised as Deadpool as the main villain. So they already did this thing.
Was it
They already did this.
He was like Weapon 9.
He was Weapon 11.
Oh, he was
Weapon 11. It was
they've done it.
same
Yes, he was
shit.
after. Yeah,
it's the same thing. We've seen Weapon 11 is Wolverine, basically. He's got the healing factor. He's controlled by other people. He's got long claws, just like X-24. So I guess what I'm getting at is there wasn't, if we didn't see this weird Deadpool in Wolverine Origins, I think this villain would have stood out better for me. But the fact that we've already seen it is just kind of lazy.
Yeah, it needed more variety because you have X-23 who has claws, Wolverine has claws, and then you have the bad guy who has the same exact claws and attacks in the same exact way. So you're getting like repetitive, kind of stuff. You need a villain that's a little bit more dynamic. I mean, I would even say like Sabretooth is cool, but I would go Sasquatch or something just really crazy.
Something that haven't
like
seen.
One of Wolverine's first major fights with Sasquatch or something from the
Alpha Flight.
It was Hulk and it wasn't Sasquatch. The Yeti? No,
that's the Yeti. That's Sasquatch. Yeah,
or the Wendigo.
Wendigo. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, they should have busted out the Wendigo. But and that would have been like a perfect circle. Ended in the first guy that Wolverine battles, and you can't do the Hulk, but you can do Wendigo. And you can do something cool with that, and that probably would have cost a lot of money. And so it's a little repetitive, but it was cool to see. The great thing about X-24 is that you get to see young Wolverine again, and you get to see that duality, and that was cute. But I would have rather had the variety.
I have a couple of problems I have with this. It seems, I think they needed a reason to use the adamantium bullet on somebody, I guess, and that's a good way to use it. It seems a little lazy, and I also thought the scene where Charles does get killed and he thinks it's Logan and it's him, like, I think the fact that that's the first time you see X-24, I think it, like, undermines the death of Xavier a little bit, because Anthony, you said, and I've heard a lot of other people say this, they thought that was like a dream sequence at first. They didn't know what was going on. So it kind of like pulls you out of the story and the meaningfulness of it. And then you're like, oh shit. Because I was like, what's in that box? And I was like, oh snap, it's another. And then here's the other thing. Like we were saying, he's never going to come back. But now we know they could just clone the motherfucker whenever they want. They could bring back Hugh Jackman Logan whenever. They just clone him. They've already done it twice, 3 times.
Yeah, and
they didn't destroy they didn't destroy their base or anything.
They're still cloning motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, and why didn't they also? If they had Logan's DNA, they also would have had Lady Deathstrike's DNA, who was also made by the same program for X-Men 2.
Yeah.
So you could have brought her back. I mean, you could have had 3 or 4 people, souped up adamantium people for Wolverine to fight. And honestly, I'm not a plot hole guy. Like some guys can watch a movie and be like, all right, this was wrong, that was wrong. I go into movies knowing I have to suspend my disbelief.
Yeah.
But I had 2 major issues with the end of the movie.
Yeah.
First of all, if adamantium bullets are a thing, and this company has adamantium to make X-24 and X-23, wouldn't they have had some of these adamantium bullets?
And they should have
in
shot
all their
him
guns?
That's a good point.
The second point is when Wolverine's got the tree trunk through him and he's dying, and like I said, we all kind of knew Wolverine was going to die. Wouldn't they have had a bunch more of that green serum that they were souping him up with in that truck?
Plus,
that was like 10 feet away.
Yeah, and I feel like he could have survived that injury had she just pulled them off right away. He may have healed up. It would have maybe taken a while.
Yeah, give him the juice.
I felt like it. I mean, maybe I just wanted a little more devastating of a kill. But I did like the part where they were holding
he wanted
hands.
to go though.
But I'm like,
I got a bunch of nitpicks.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and his shit was slowing down. He was getting poisoned like cancer by the adamantium.
Go ahead, Ruggs.
So, Ruggs, what do you got?
Okay, I got a bunch of nitpicks.
Oh, he's got a bunch.
All right. Okay. So,
wait, hold on. Let me give you this. Where is it?
Here's the rundown. There was one moment where I had to turn to the person next to me and make a comment.
Oh no!
Because I was like, I can't. Like it's too perfect to say something. So when Wolverine meets the lady who's got X-23, and he gets her phone, and he starts watching the shit on her phone. I'm like, who edited this movie? Like, that's on their phone. It was like, it was like cutting back and forth. I had a voiceover. It was like, I'm like, this is like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're supposed to believe that that's on her phone. Like, what did she make that with? iMovie?
Yeah, iMovie.
Like,
you never use the iMovie on your phone? It takes a little bit of time. You sit there.
She really wanted to do a really good presentation.
It didn't seem very discreet
and then the fact
either.
that she had unfettered access to like this top notch.
She's just walking around
with a camera while people are using their powers.
There's like lower thirds on there, and there's like a scrolling ticker, but nobody noticed her fucking filming all this shit.
I laughed audibly. I'm like, how is she like in the middle of the room with their camera just going? So I was like, wow, that's really bad. That's a
good point.
But so that was like one really glaring big bad thing that I noticed, and I had to make a comment on that before anybody else did. So there's that. There was the fact that I would have liked that green shit to last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it just, I mean, they make a big deal about it. Like, we gave you some of this, and we only gave you a little bit, and we're going to give you a lot. And it just was like, not even like, they should have like another minute more.
He took a shitload, and I thought that would have been enough to carry him through. Like, he took the whole bottle of the fucking thing.
Yeah. But, so I was a little bit mad that it burnt out so quick. And this is my last final thing. Okay. So, X-23 is a weapon from day one. You know, she's born and bred and whatever to kick ass and take names. The rest of the people seem like huge pussies and can't do shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and like,
you had an earthquake guy. Look, Richter is an actual from the comic books. He's the earthquake guy.
That's not what he's getting at. He's getting at the fact that these guys were all bred to fucking be killers, and they're all running away like pussies. Like they should all have the same attitude X-23 had.
I
see.
see.
No older than them. She's like just, she's a little bit more feral, but all of these guys had the same training. They should be just as inhuman as
they should all have been feral. You're absolutely right. Like, how are they civilized? Like, how long were they on their own? That wasn't really clear.
I mean, they can have they can be civilized, but they were trained to kill from a young age, and they're running away.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been running. Right.
Yeah, so I didn't like that at all either. I'm like, why are they running? Like, why are they helpless little kids? There should be badasses.
And why is just going to Canada going to help them? Is fucking Alpha Flight waiting for them across the border?
Yeah,
I would have liked.
I would have liked that the Reavers be like, they're obviously have these kids and they know what they're capable of, so they have like things to check their powers.
Countermeasure weapons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that would have been cool to see like all the countermeasures that they had waiting for these kids, and then they at least give a good try to fight them off instead of running and letting fucking Wolverine do everything.
Yeah.
What I thought was going to happen is they have these kids that are all trained. I thought instead of having the bullet kill X-24, I thought all these kids would rally and start and team up to kill X-24, and then it would almost be like, this is the moment where the new X-Men are arising. And instead of doing that
would have been nice.
Went with the bullet.
They kind of rallied to take out Pierce.
They rallied to take out Pierce,
lame.
but
that was kind of lame.
But that was lame, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have cost a lot of money.
I mean,
but
it wasn't cool
I don't know.
at
I
all.
felt like
Dude, Laura had the killing blow ultimately, which was kind of poetic in a sense. She hit him with that bullet, and then he finally went down.
Yeah.
Any more nitpicks? Rugs, you said you had a bunch. Was that all of them?
Well, I said the video thing. I said the kids were like a little lame in their execution of their powers, and just the fact that they didn't seem battle ready at all. And the bad guy, the guy who is the head of the bad guys, he was not compelling, not given enough screen time to be ominous or anything. He was just kind of like a British dude or something. And I really knew nothing about him.
No, yeah.
Other than he came from this corporation. I would have liked to maybe had a little bit, maybe a minute or two in the corporation just to see how much of a dick he was or something.
I agree. I could have used more on Pierce and the Doctor, just a little bit. But look, I think we can all agree that the pros heavily outweigh the cons.
No, yeah.
For this movie, like that's very nitpicky, and overall, it doesn't really affect your enjoyment of the movie, except for the one point where Rug Boy laughed out loud at the woman's iMovie video on her phone.
I mean, it looked like a fucking Vice video.
That was great.
Yeah, it was like in people's faces too. It was so like, I was like, how is this discreet? You're like literally carrying around a camera and putting in people's faces.
And couldn't they have tracked the phone too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He had it with him.
A high security place for the fucking making people. And they're like, they have no phone security.
Okay, so I got a bunch of links, which I'm just going to mention things. If you guys want to talk about them, fine. If not, we will carry on. Logan X-Men timeline. When does this take place? Do you want to discuss this at all? Does it make a difference?
I don't think it makes a difference, and I think that Fox doesn't even give a fuck about this.
No,
shit.
I don't think they do. Basically, all you got to know is like Days of Future Past, 1973. It splits. But what's interesting is that this Logan is the only one that has lived in the two timelines, sort of, right?
Yep.
Because he would have went through the first timeline.
Yeah.
And then in the future, past this movie, goes back to 73, and then that becomes this timeline.
I don't know. I don't know if he retains all his memories. I don't. It's time travel, so who knows?
And it's going to be interesting to see when the Blu-ray comes out what's cut, because obviously you said they cut the Westchester scene.
They might add that in there.
There's supposed to be a Jean Grey centric scene.
That's what I saw also, that there's some kind of Jean Grey,
and maybe there's even more about the doctors. I mean, they put that Easter egg in after the credits of X-Men Apocalypse with the whole Essex Corp thing.
Yes, which is kind of that is the company now that does the Weapon X program.
They never really linked it to anything.
No, yeah. What the fuck was Essex? What was all that shit?
It was a red herring.
I do enjoy some of the Easter eggs, like Alkali Transigen being, Alkali Lake, kind of having the same name and this company. What other Easter eggs? You had the comic books, of course, done by Joe Quesada, Dan Panosian.
What I usually dislike is Imran gets this huge fucking boner about these Easter eggs. They're really just nothing. But I like that the Easter eggs in this film were much more subtle.
Yes.
It wasn't like, hey, look at us. We're a fucking part of this universe too. Yeah. It was more like just a world building, like, that's a nice nod.
It wasn't forced. Yeah.
It wasn't forced. Yeah. And I like that. It was, like the katana in his room and all that stuff. Like, it's just very subtle stuff. It's like, he's been Logan for 17 years. We should acknowledge something.
Yeah. Yeah. You have that much history. How about X-23 kind of being like the Harley Quinn of the X-Men universe, in the sense that Harley was created for Batman the Animated Series and X-23 created for X-Men Evolution by Craig Kyle and Christopher Yost, because from what I read, they wanted them to, because that's all the teenage X-Men, they wanted them to teenage up actual Logan. And I'm so glad they didn't do that, because I don't think anybody wants to see that. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're going to create a new female clone teenage Wolverine, and what an amazing fucking character. And now she is the Wolverine in main Marvel continuity.
The only
and
book
she's going to be the new Harley Quinn, because people are going to be cosplaying as her all the time.
So it's totally Harley Quinn, which is
except she's a fucking way more interesting character.
Way more interesting character.
What's cool about being addicted to abuse, like Harley Quinn is?
Yeah, and you barely saw that in that fucking movie in Suicide Squad. Like, they didn't even.
That would at least made her interesting.
Yeah, if they had some of that. And the other Easter eggs, Reavers, Donald Pierce. The scene where Laura cuts herself in the when she's in the place, and she just cuts herself and it heals up and she does it again. That's right out of X-23 solo series by Craig Kyle, Christopher Yost, which is kind of cool. That was fucking crazy. She's just like slicing herself. Like goes whoop, and then she just cuts herself again.
I was really impressed they stuck to her origin story as closely as they did.
Yeah,
and I'm a huge X-23 fan. The all new Wolverine book is the only Marvel book I'm reading right now.
Oh, really? It's good.
Yeah, it's really good. And Kyle and Yost did an X-Force run.
Okay,
with X-23, Wolverine, Wolfsbane, Thunderbird, which is definitely like my favorite X-Force runs, if not my favorite X-Men run.
Yeah.
It's not even that old, and it didn't run very long. But, you talk about X-Men Evolution, which I really wasn't a fan of the teenage X-Men.
Yeah, it was a good show, though.
It was all right. Wolverine and the X-Men was much better.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, that one I didn't watch that much.
It only went for one season.
Oh.
But anyway, you talk about these cartoons, you talk about the timeline, and now looking back on this and Apocalypse, which was the last one, I think the reason I was so lenient on Apocalypse is because where the timeline needs to end up for these movies is you need to end up with the 90s X-Men animated series team. That's where this has got to go.
Okay.
Because that's where, a lot of people that are like my age, like the millennial types, we grew up with that cartoon.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
That's where our fond X-Men memories come from.
Right.
So, the inconsistencies of the timeline, we could talk about that for 3 days. But where the timeline needs to end up is there.
With the Jubilee and the Storm and Beast
Storm,
and Metal Team,
Gambit,
Wolverine,
yeah.
Gambit, yeah.
That
is interesting. Because
I completely agree with that.
Thank you.
That is what I grew up on.
No, and it makes sense from that point of view. You're like, give me this X-Men that everybody knows.
Right.
Like, it's like they're beating around the bush and trying all these things, and it's just simple as, look, this is the X-Men, the wide audience, mainstream. The most people know this set of X-Men,
and it's got to be super colorful.
Yeah,
it's got to be super diverse. It's exactly.
And you want to capture that family dynamic and all the little drama, and I'd love to see a Colossus Kitty Pryde relationship, all that shit.
And that's why when I left X-Men Apocalypse, like right out of the theater, I was like, obviously I had issues with the movie, and there were things that lacked, and it did not do that movie any favors to put a 35-40 minute Wolverine Weapon X thing in there. As cool as it was.
Yeah.
But I left going, at least they're going to where they need to be.
Yeah.
We saw at the end, they finally have costumes. They're, hanging out in the danger room and doing all that stuff. That's where they need to end up. And I hope that this Logan movie showed them that it's not about worldwide stakes like Apocalypse with the trash heaps and all the special effects. Do a small character-driven movie.
Yep.
And I think that's been a hard sell with the studios. And just look at the Wolverine, the last Wolverine movie. The first 2/3 of that movie are amazing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you want a 15-foot tall CGI Iron Man robot. It's like
it's completely different movie.
Piss off.
Piss
He
off.
could have fought ninjas for the last half an hour of that movie. And I would have been totally stoked.
I just had a thought that I didn't really have until just now.
Okay.
And it's about Dakin.
Yeah, it's the son.
Man, Dakin.
Like, instead of X-24, they should have made it Dakin.
Oh shit! A nut. Like here's
Like,
your daughter, but you also have a son. Oh shit!
Yeah.
That'd have been cool.
And
he has to kill his son, not his son.
when X-24 popped the claws, I was looking really closely.
There was
and it's
two.
hard to see if he had 3 or 2 and one out the wrist, Dakin
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Because you're right, that would have been awesome.
Oh, that would have been good too. That would have been easy to do.
Yeah.
And that would have been the dichotomy of the daughter that he never wanted and the son that he never wanted.
And then
he loves one and hates, and the other one
Oh,
just hates his ass.
Even deeper family thematic in there. Oh shit, that's really good. Wow, good
Wow,
thought,
Dakin,
Lugs.
that's a
God
good
damn
thought.
it. Why did they do that? Mangold, you did what you could.
Dakin is a bad
Hugh Jackman with a mohawk,
Oh yeah.
like CG'd out, like kind of like young Hugh Jackman with a mohawk and like tattoos.
Oh shit, yeah. They do like a Downey Jr. de-aging and then make him Dakin.
Dakin's bad, man.
Dakin's Asian because Dakin is his daughter from Muriko, from The Wolverine.
Oh man, they could have done that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so Dakin is, and Dakin's got a great backstory.
Yeah.
The Dark Wolverine stuff is really cool. His name, Dakin, is actually Japanese for dog.
Oh, cool.
Because they hated him.
He was
Because,
he was just a dog to them.
Exactly. And in The Wolverine, they really, showed you that. They didn't really like Wolverine because he was a mutant. They kind of saw him as like the other. So it's not that hard to imagine, all of a sudden Miracle and him, hook up, and then all of a
And
sudden
his
she has
kid
this
comes
kid.
back.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
That would have tied in nicely. That would have tied in nicely. Okay, so look, here's the thing. We're talking about the plot, the story, the overall. There's one article on Crack that almost made me hate this movie. Why? Because they point out brilliantly that the Logan was done 11 years ago in a more thoughtful manner in a movie called Children of Men.
Oh, shit.
Has anybody seen?
Great movie.
Yes.
Great.
Amazing sci-fi movie, Children of Men, 2006, Alfonso Cuarón, Clive Owen in this movie. Basically the same story. You're just going to change no more mutants in the future to nobody's having kids. There's no pregnant women. Now, in this movie, there's also an old mentor that dies halfway through, Michael Caine. Instead of saving a mutant, he's protecting the pregnant woman. He dies at the end, saving them. It is a really, really good movie. There's a lot of similarities, but the movie, to its defense, pulls from a lot of references from a lot of movies. But wow, if you read this Cracked article, you're like, it's the same fucking movie. It's Children of Men.
that never even dawned on me. And I love that movie. It's
Me
on
neither.
Comcast,
Yes.
on demand. I've probably watched it 6 times in the last 6 months because I'll put it on as a background and just let it run because it's phenomenal. And I never drew that connection, but it's apt.
If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend Children of Men. It's a little more of a thoughtful, kind of the same movie, but more meaningful. That was my problem with some of the R-rated violence, is that it didn't seem to have enough of a payoff as maybe it should. It kind of felt like it was there just to be violent.
Nah, I disagree. Totally disagree.
Look, Xavier could have went out actually doing something, maybe saving one of them, and then he gets killed, or an attempt instead of just dying. I don't know.
No, it's thematic, man. It's Xavier being like, man, this is the best day ever. Like, I'm finally having a good day. And Wolverine again kills somebody that he's close with. Like, the guy's having his best day ever.
Yeah.
Guys. That's Wolverine. That's what happens to Wolverine all the time. That's the running theme of his life.
Yeah, everyone who's close to him.
He's not fucking scared of dying or anything. He's scared of falling in love with someone or having a child, and then that person being taken away from him.
Yeah,
and that's why that works for me. Is Professor X is literally dying because of Wolverine again. This happens again.
That was also sad in terms of where Laura is at the end of the movie. She just gets this family finally, a little sense of normalcy for like a day or a week, however they're on the road, and then now they're all dead. She's on her own again. Like, it's so sad. Like, she just bonded with these people. She had a grandfather and a father figure, and it's his daughter. And then just done, gone. And now she's on her own again.
And I would like to see Wolverine live to mentor them on the other side.
Yeah, I thought we would get a little bit of that, a little more passing the torch kind of thing. But instead, she recites Shane and buries him, and they go off their merry way. It happens.
I don't know if you guys remember, but before they made this movie, Hugh Jackman put out this big call on Twitter.
Yeah.
That was like, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
And me, because I'm a super nerd like this, I wrote an entire script outline and sent it to his agent.
You did?
Yes.
Whoa. Did you ever get a response from them?
I never got a response, and I never thought anything of it. I was like, oh, of course, they probably got inundated with nerds from all over the world sending these in. The one thing...
Wait, so give us a quick, 2-minute outline. What was this?
2-minute outline. Wolverine is living in, let's see, it would have been Western Europe. He's living in Ireland, just hanging out, doing his own thing.
Okay.
Kind of, the way all the Wolverine movies start, he's on his own. Storm tracks him down.
Okay.
He hangs out with, Storm for a while, and then they find out that shit's going crazy in Eastern Europe. So Storm's got to go. She convinces Wolverine to come with him, and it's kind of the same thing. It becomes like this whole road trip to find this mutant that's fucking things up in the Eastern Bloc, over by Russia. And along the way, they meet X-23, and then as they get closer to Russia, they meet up with Colossus, who's from Russia. And Deadpool shows up.
Oh shit! You put Deadpool in this.
Yeah, so it's like a whole Stripes thing, kind of, where they're going through the behind the Iron Curtain to find this mutant, and of course, at the end, the mutant turns out to be none other than Omega Red.
Oh shit!
Who's one of the old X-Men villains, and then it was just an outline. It wasn't like a full script, so it was at the end, obviously he can die, he can retire, but what I thought would have been really cool is if they had him kind of become like a Nick Fury type character, where he's the older commander. He's not fighting anymore. He doesn't have to do all the workouts, but he's the older commander type who's behind the scenes with maybe X-Force, which they're trying to get together the whole time. And I always kind of thought this probably didn't even get read.
But there were some similarities.
Well, not only were there similarities, I mean, obviously, it wasn't like it was some genius, out of left field idea. The only thing that made me think that they read it was because I heard a story recently that they really heavily tried to recruit Halle Berry to come back for this movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which, I mean, that was kind of my pipe dream idea, because I love the idea of Wolverine and Storm together. I think it makes a lot more sense than the whole Wolverine Jean Grey thing.
Yeah.
So... when I read that whole thing about them trying to bring Storm back, that's what made me wonder.
They read it and they stole it, and you ain't getting shit. Sorry.
I don't even care. I mean,
oh shit!
I don't care if they ripped it off word for word. The movie was great. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, it was good. One last thing. They cast someone as Domino, Zazie Beetz. She's in Atlanta. Donald Glover's Atlanta. I don't know her, but Ryan Reynolds tweeted a picture with her name spelled out in Pebbles. But they have their Domino, and they're still looking for a Cable. David Harbour, the guy from Stranger Things who played the cop, he's been the latest guy that's been rumored to maybe he could do a good job. He's got the size. So Zazie Beetz is Domino. All right, let's end this with where should we rank this in terms of X-Men movies? Out of the 10 X-Men movies, where does it fall for you guys? Rug Boy, why don't you go first?
Damn, this is a tough one.
Or you could just give it a grade, but I kind of want to know where it falls in terms of
I
X-Men.
feel like it's in the top 3.
Yes.
Or in the top 4, something like that. Definitely, I'm going to say number 2, X-Men is one of my favorites.
X2 is very good.
I do like the First Class.
Yeah.
And I do like Age of Apocalypse.
What?
Not Age of Apocalypse.
Days of Future Past, you mean?
Days of Future Past. I misspoke. And Wolverine's right up there with all of them. So this one is, okay. Logan's up there with all of them. So it's in good company. I feel like that Logan is a better movie than some of them.
Yeah.
But I do think that I do like all those movies. So it's in the top 4.
Kevin?
I'm about the same. I'm actually a First Class hater.
Oh.
I was not a fan of First Class.
Don't like the Matthew Vaughn First Class, huh?
I didn't, but X2, it's definitely the best Wolverine movie solo. And yeah, I would definitely put it in the top. It's got to be top 2 with X2. And if it was top 3, I don't know where Deadpool falls in there, but it's definitely the top 3 with Deadpool and X2.
For me, Deadpool is definitely up there. It's like top 1 or 2 of, and like we said, there's 10 movies, 17 years, and really only 4 of them are really good. Basically, honestly. So it took him a long time to get, and one of them being X2, from way back when. But I would say it's almost like this and Deadpool being 1 and 2. I don't know, it would flip, but that's where I put it, Anthony.
So I'm one of those guys that doesn't think X2 is all that great. I think it's actually kind of
really
boring. Yeah. And I would rank it. I got him number 1 for sure. Logan for me number 1, and then I don't even think Deadpool's that great. I would go with like Logan for sure number 1, Days of Future Past, First Class, and then you can throw in like X2 or Deadpool somewhere in there. Actually, I would even rank the Wolverine above X2 and Deadpool. So there you go. Logan for me clearly number 1.
I think this movie also joins the pantheon of your Spider-Man 2, your Avengers, your Winter Soldier, Civil War, Dark Knight. This is cream of the crop shit right here in terms
Superman, just right up there.
Oh, snap.
Oh, shit.
Gritty without being dark and meaningful, and finally getting like the perfect realistic tone for characters you've loved for 17 years. So good stuff. All right, before we peace out, we're going to do a little superhero science segment. So if you haven't listened, listener, I think it was episode 155, Science and Superheroes. We have a listener. He's a wildlife toxicologist, a PhD, Adam Morris. He is our official podcast science advisor. That's a great episode. We geek out about the science and superheroes. And I asked him about Spider-Man's powers, because in the 80s, there was an issue where Electro pulled all the static electricity out of the air and Spidey just fell off the wall. And I was like, oh, shit, is that a thing? Can he do that? Is that how spiders do it? And here we have our answer from Adam Morris.
Hello, everyone. This is the official Jock and Nerd science advisor, Dr. Adam Morris. I'm just replying to Imran's question about how spiders are able to adhere to different surfaces, and also whether or not Electro would be able to blast Spider-Man off of a surface with an electric charge of some kind or another. So first, we'll talk a little bit about how chemistry works in general and how bonds work. So ionic bonds are the most common, and most people know about those. You have a positive and a negative ion. They're attracted to each other because of their opposite charges, and they bind together very strongly. So sodium chloride is the best example, table salt. We also have covalent bonds, and covalent bonds are also very strong attractions where atoms are sharing electrons between them, and carbon and hydrogen are the most common covalent bonds that you'll find in nature. Now, in addition to the bonding, there's all kinds of other intermolecular forces, we call them, that draw things together or apart. And one of those is electrostatic forces, which is what Imran's question was initially about. But we're going to talk about van der Waals forces, because those are actually how spiders stick to walls. And van der Waals forces are similar to electrostatic forces in some ways, but it's more about the surface area of the two things that are coming together. So as two molecules are approaching each other, They have the positive section in the middle where the protons and neutrons are bound together. And then they have the electrons on the outside. They form a cloud, and these electrons are just whizzing around. And they created a negative kind of electric field on the outside of the molecule. So as two molecules are coming together, the electric fields are repelling each other, but the positive central parts are also attracting the opposite electric field. So two things will become more or less adhered together by a very weak electric force. And again, compared to an ionic bond or a covalent bond, this is a very, very weak force. But the strength in van der Waals forces is when it's spread over a large surface area. So the larger the positive and negative charge on each of the two things that are coming closer together, the stronger the force is. And that is how spiders are able to adhere to things. So at the end of the spider foot, the chitin, which is a huge part of the exoskeleton of any arthropod, any shelled kind of organism, is extended down into these fine hair-like fibers, and they extend further and further on a microscopic scale until you get to these things called setula. And the setula increase the surface area of the spider foot by, I'm not sure exactly, but I think hundreds or thousands of times. So essentially the spiders are walking around with these big sticky pads at the end of their feet that are disproportionately large compared to the actual size of the foot because of the surface area of the setula. Now, as to whether Electro would be able to dislodge Spider-Man from the wall using an electric blast, initially I said no, but now that I've been thinking about it, anything that would disrupt the general kind of electronic configuration of the atoms on the outer surface or on the surface of the spider or Spider-Man could potentially dislodge them from the surface. So I'm going to say, yeah, I think that would actually potentially work. Barring that, the electric charge could also disrupt Spider-Man's musculature and his nervous system and things like that, which may play a role in him being able to adhere to the wall. I'm not sure how it all works in spiders, but anyway, that's the best answer I can give for you guys right now. Hope it's good enough. Thank you very much.
Wow, we got schooled. You guys take notes? There's going to be a quiz afterwards.
I would add something, but it would just be dumb in comparison.
I know, he's so smart. I love it. Dude, thank you so much, Adam Morris. That's what I wanted to know. Listener, if you have a nerdy science superhero question that you want Adam Morris to answer, send it in. Let us know. We'll pass it on, and we will get the answer. I kind of like this geeking out. We get like super smart at the end of the show after talking bullshit. It's great.
My brain is broken.
My brain, I don't even think Rugboy can handle that. Kevin, man, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your X-Men love. Tell the listener where they can find you and what you do. I'm
an artist by trade. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Antihero with no punctuation, or on the Facebook machine at Kevin Stencils. That's about it. My Twitter was created and I tweeted once, and that was it. So don't bother trying to find me there.
The man does really good stencil art. You take commissions at all?
I do.
All right,
I do. And I'll, if you follow me on my page, I'll probably be doing art shows and stuff coming up this summer. It's, yeah.
Listener, check out his work. You may like it. You get some nice art for your living room. Rugboy, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugboy. So come by and say hello, and you can tell me to fuck off.
Oh, hello.
Anthony does.
Go fuck off. I heard a Mitch Hedberg joke today. He goes, I told the audience to fuck off, but I felt bad, so I said, fuck back on. Mitch Hedberg. Look, listen, listener, thanks for listening. Subscribe at iTunes. Just visit jockandnerd.com/review. Takes you to our iTunes page. You can leave us a rating and reviewing. And tell a friend. Spread the geekery. Grab someone's phone, subscribe them, and give them one of these.
Jock and Nerd.
And then throw their phone at them with us subscribed in iTunes. That's all you got to do. That would help us out. Thanks. Thanks for listening. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll catch you next time.